A year ago, on this very stage, a student named Jacob Wash, who has since graduated from Queen's, stood here and he shared the anguish of what happened to his family on October 7th. Jacob's great-uncle and aunt are founding members of Kibbutz Nir Oz, and it was a miracle that they survived that day. And in June, I walked in the footsteps of their pain. I joined Jacob and his cousin Nessa for a tour of the kibbutz, and I saw with my own eyes the devastation. Over a couple of hours, the three of us wandered through the remains of a community shattered by violence. And I want to speak to you not only about the horror of what I witnessed that day, but also about the resilience and the strength and the hope that I saw in the aftermath. Because even in the darkness, there are sparks of light. And it's those sparks that we have to hold on to. Nir Oz is one of the closest communities to Gaza. It's about 30 minutes by walk from the fence, where Hamas punched through at about 6:30 a.m. The first terrorist made it to the fence of Nir Oz at around 7 a.m. And almost 7.5 hours later, at 2:20 p.m., was the time when the first IDF soldiers made it to the kibbutz. In that short time, Nir Oz experienced a catastrophe. Their worst nightmares were realized. Nearly 180 of the kibbutz residents, and you've got to imagine that on a good day, this is a kibbutz, a community of 400 people. Almost 180 people were murdered, taken hostage, or injured that day. With Nessa and Jacob, I stood outside the homes of families forever scarred by the events of that day. One of the first homes we came to was the home of Bracha Levinson. Bracha was 74 years old on October 7th. Her family found out that she had been murdered because the Hamas terrorists who broke into her home, stole her phone, opened Facebook, went on live, and recorded them murdering her. Can you imagine being one of her granddaughters who opened their social media app that morning, their Facebook, and saw a video of a monster standing over the body of their dead grandmother holding a gun? We stood at the doorway to the Simmentov family's home, where Johnny and Tamar Simmentov, together with their 3 young children, their 5-year-old twins Shachar and Arbel, and their 2-year-old Omer, were burned alive. In his last moments, Johnny texted his sister and said, "They're here, they're burning us, we're suffocating." We stood in front of the home of Carmela Dan, where she had been hosting her 12-year-old granddaughter Noya for a sleepover the night before. Carmela's grandmother was known for baking cookies for her family, and Noya's face became famous because all of us saw that photo of her in a Harry Potter Hogwarts uniform. Noya was on the autistic spectrum and she loved Harry Potter. And both of them were cruelly taken from the world, their lives, their dreams, their moments of laughter, all stolen in an instant by a force that did not see their humanity. And then we came to the home of the Bibas family, whose laundry is still sitting outside their front door waiting to be done. And who among us has not asked the universe why and how this could happen? How could anyone have seen this beautiful young family as a legitimate target? Their children, Ariel and Kafir, are now pawns in a war that they couldn't even begin to understand. These moments, these places, they are not just stories, they are the raw reality of what hate can do. But what struck me was the most on that visit was not the horror, it was the resilience I saw in Nessa guiding us that day. At one point in our tour, we reached an area of the kibbutz where the original homes of the kibbutz now stood. Most of these homes were used by storage by the kibbutz members of this community, but the majority of them had been burnt down that day by Hamas. And if you haven't seen the footage that I took that day, I recorded the majority of my visit and uploaded it online. And one of my favourite moments is the moment we're in the car after leaving those houses, and Jacob says to Nessa how much he loved for a regeneration project of these buildings. He wants to create a museum, some sort of memorial to the family of the kibbutz, and Nessa last, and he said, you know what? Now we just need to rebuild. That's much easier than regenerating. That's the spirit of our people. To take the ashes of what was destroyed and to use them as a foundation for what we will rebuild. To face despair and to answer not with surrender but with defiance, with hope. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, of blessed memory, who I was privileged to meet on a number of occasions, taught us that faith is not certainty, but the courage to live with uncertainty. He reminded us that hope is the belief that together we can make the world better, that we can overcome any setback, and heal the fractures in our world. And that is what we must hold on to tonight. Not just the memory of what we've lost, but the faith that things can get better, that we can rebuild, that we can heal. It's impossible to find real meaning in a tragedy like this. But my message to all of you, to each and every person who's come out to join us this evening, is that we don't just need to have hope, we need to be hope. We need to show up, speak up, stand up. We need to amplify our Jewish pride and our resilience. Our organisation, Hillel, is named for the Talmudic sage who taught that a single candle can light 1,000 more without extinguishing itself. And tonight, everyone, I hope that each of you will become a candle of hope, to take the light and the unity that we have created in this room here tonight and to spread it, to become beacons that light up the darkness, that chase away the shadows of hatred and of fear. And I know that it's easier said than done, so here are 5 practical ways that you can become more hopeful even at times of crisis for Israel. These are 5 things that I do, that I have done, and they've helped me, and I hope that they'll help you. Number 1, as I've already said, amplify your Jewish pride. I know I've spoken to many students this year who've chosen to start wearing Magen David, a Star of David. I never wore a Magen David before this year, but this summer when I was in Jerusalem, I bought this Star of David, and I've been wearing it ever since. This year, since returning to campus, I've also made the intentional decision to more regularly wear my kippah and to wear my tzitzit proudly. And I can tell you, in the short space of time that I've been doing that, walking around Kingston, I have only got positive questions and queries. Only. When we shine our Jewishness proudly, people see it. Number 2 is engage with your Jewish community. Just look at all the organizations whose logos were on the event graphic for this event tonight. There are so many opportunities for you to get involved in Jewish life here in Kingston. And most of the events that are offered here come with a delicious meal as well, so I really don't think there's much that any student can say no to that. And I would just encourage you to make a commitment to be a part of something larger than yourself. Take the opportunity to join the family of our Jewish community. Even if you're not Jewish, you're welcome. Even if it's just one more Shabbat dinner this semester than you would have attended otherwise. Join us. We want to see you there. My 3rd tip for becoming more hopeful in this time is learning more about your Jewish heritage and about Israel. If you feel like you never know enough to have an opinion or to tell your friends about what you know is happening, use that discomfort you feel as motivation. Study, read, ask questions, use that feeling as fuel, not an excuse. Don't remain silent. The 4th tip would be to build bridges beyond our community. And when I look around the room tonight, I am inspired by the members of the non-Jewish community who've come out to join us this evening, to stand in solidarity with us. Don't shy away from those tough conversations with your non-Jewish friends about what we're facing. Share your experiences. Make sure you ask how you can support others in their struggles, and show them how they can stand up for us. And finally, and this is the best tip that I have for gaining more hope at this time, Go to Israel. Visit Israel as soon as you can. I was privileged to spend 3 weeks there this summer, and I'm looking forward to hopefully going back this winter. There is something transformative about being there, about standing in the very place that has been the heartbeat of our people for 4,000 years. Israel is more than a country. It's a dialogue between the past and the future. It's a place where history is not just learned, it's lived. Where every sunrise over the Jerusalem hills is a reminder that the Jewish story is not over. That we are not merely survivors, but a continuing legacy that stretches from ancient times into an uncharted horizon. If you want to go and you're looking for a way to get there, come and speak to me. We will find a way to make that happen. In the face of adversity, let us say clearly together, Hinenu, we are here. The Jewish people are here, standing tall, standing proud, unbroken by the darkness that surrounds us. We are here, lighting up the night with our faith, our hope, our collective strength. To Mika, who spoke so powerfully tonight about her cousin Alex, who was murdered just a few weeks ago, and to Sydney, whose cousin Ronnie remains a hostage in Gaza, the courage that both of you have shown this past year to not give up gives us all strength. And to the organisations that have made tonight possible, the Kingston Jewish Council, Stand With Us Canada, Kibbutz Kingston, Beth Israel Kingston, Run For Their Lives Kingston, Alvi, the Jewish Law Students Association of Queens, and the McFarlane Kibbutz, among so many others. This couldn't have been done without all of you. And to Gali, our staff member, who has led this effort with tireless energy and passion, thank you for the countless hours that you have put into coordinating this week's program of events. We're shortly going to stand to sing Hatikva, and I'll just give you a couple of directions before that.